Okay, so I think we discovered we were not actually live on YouTube the past two times we did this. I think we were definitely live on Twitch because we're trying out this whole multi-streaming thing, but I'm kind of gonna try and figure this out real quick, and I guess I'm gonna do it while potentially being live. Let's just see. Yeah, I think I am live on YouTube now. So the only difference, it seems, is that I went to my YouTube channel on a browser and then clicked on go live. And then I hit the multi-streaming stuff. And that seems to actually make me live on YouTube as well. Yeah, I can see the cloud thing and it says day 5. Okay, that's good to know. So I'm learning about streaming while we're doing this as well. I think my next step is to check Twitch because I actually haven't checked Twitch at all yet. I kind of just have been going live and occasionally I see, or the last time I did this, I saw like a comment on, or the chat from Twitch. Yeah, very, very much not used to this, but it's sort of like tackling multiple or killing multiple birds with one stone is how I think of it. Learn a little bit about streaming while also working on my Japanese stuff. Okay, so let's continue this challenge. It is day 5 of learning 300 kanji in 30 days. And I think so far so good. I will say that on day 3, I skipped day 4. I didn't stream for day 4, but I did practice off of camera. Actually, I was so tired and exhausted yesterday from just doing my freelance stuff and audiobook stuff. I was just like, I really just want to lay down and work on this stuff on my own without being on camera and just do it on the floor while laying down. I mean, theoretically, I can also do it on the floor while streaming if I connect it with my phone next time. So maybe I'll have like a floor set up if I get exhausted again. But for now, I'm going to try my best to stream whenever we can. Like yesterday was definitely an exception. I just felt so exhausted. But let's continue to do this. So we haven't really done much review. Right now, we're just learning new ones. Also, I'm connected with my mouse, which isn't ideal, but it's because I have some stuff open that I don't want to close regarding my audiobook stuff, because usually what happens is I need to connect my phone via USB. So I also have this mic connected to an audio interface, which is connected to my MacBook Pro, and then my camera right there is also connected. So it's like all 3 USB slots are taken up right now because my audiobook is connected to my hard drive or my SSD drive, which, like I said, I don't want to remove right now because I'm going to work on it again and I don't want to close the project on Audition. Okay, it's Joel Holt. Information and news. So we've learned up to 45 kanji at this point. This is day 5, so we have to get up to 50. And after I finish this lesson, I'll show you guys. I know I started in the middle of a lesson, Joel Holt. But so far, like I said, it's been pretty good. Like everything has been quite, I'm not going to say easy, but I feel like it's been straightforward. Like I haven't come across a snag that makes me like really slow or something like that. If anything, using this mouse is oh no, I made a mistake. There's a trick to this app. It considered it correct because I was supposed to do this in the stroke order, but it seems to only think it's wrong if you do 2 wrong. So if you correct yourself in predicting what the next one is supposed to be, or just knowing what this one is supposed to be, you can cheat it. Because I mindlessly did that, so I knew, yeah. Koet, this one's a new one that I just learned. I have seen this kanji for sure, like in the past, but I didn't realize that the top was like this, basically. I just remember like this part in Koet. So it's good to know for sure. But this is Joel, and then this whole. Well, all of this is new to me right now, and it's been really fun actually learning, because I just feel like I'm connecting so many dots, because Joho is a word I already know, and I hear it in anime a lot too. So finally seeing the kanji for it is like, it feels cool. Ogoet, I've not heard of that one before, but the kanji makes a lot of sense. Hojiru. Hojiru. All right, moment of truth. Let's see if I can do this, especially with this mouse. I think the nice part is a lot of it is, you know, we know all of these radicals already very well, because, you know, I've studied JLPT N5 kanji and N4 kanji the past month or two. Like we've been using this app to review it, basically. Loud voice, ogoet. So it feels quite simple to just be like, yeah, each of these radicals we already know. So we basically just have to remember the compound kanji. I feel like that's actually the harder part in this whole thing, is remembering the compounds, not the kanji itself, but like what both of these together mean and how to say it. Voice, koet. But if you get enough samples, I feel like if you learn enough compound kanji using that kanji, it becomes easier and easier to just remember the onyomi. Okay, here we are. This is lesson 49. Let's actually observe my own stream just in case, like last time. But here are all the kanji that we learned so far in JLPT N3. Again, each row has 8 of them, so if you just count the columns, or how many rows there are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 6 times 8 is 48. We are not quite there yet. We're missing 1, so we've done 47. So we need 3 more for day 50. So we'll do 3 more, but I wanted to just talk about the journey so far. So day 4, basically we got up to right here, which is like the kanji for tsugi, and then the kanji that looks very much like tsugi but without like the 2 things in the left side, kakeru. I'd say this right here is probably the hardest kanji I've learned so far. Man, I wish I can zoom in, because here, I can just type it into ChatGPT real quick. But I sort of remember it as, I think it was like hata, right? No. Was it not hata? I thought it was hata. Okay, maybe not. Let me just do the version I know. Sentaku ki. So I know it as ki, I guess. Not before this. I learned it and then thought of it because I saw the meaning, and I was like, part of the meaning is machine, so is it connected with like washing machine, which is a word that I already know. Not the kanji of it, because I actually don't know the kanji for sentaku at all, but I was able to pick out like the fact that this is the kanji for connected to sentaku ki. But by itself it means like loom or something like that. I didn't fully understand it, so I looked it up, and apparently loom is like some sort of weaving, and it sort of makes sense because you can see like two ito like radicals which sort of represent like thread. But yeah, this one's probably the hardest kanji I've come across so far, but because it was hard, I worked on it a bit extra, and I feel like I have it now. But it's also part of kikai, which is like, I'm pretty sure kikai was opportunity. I don't know why it says kikai is machine right here. I mean, maybe it's both. I'm just gonna type in kikai. Anyways, it is hata, meaning loom. Kikai. Oh, maybe, yeah, this is a different kai right here for the kanji. That makes sense. But this is opportunity right here. It's part of this kanji right here. Anyways, kao. I'm just going over a little bit of what we learned. So many of these kanjis we've at some point have heard the word for, and I think that's why so far the challenge hasn't been super hard, and so far why I've been able to like keep up with learning 10 a day. But for this stream, I'm not going to do too much because I in general don't really want to do this on my MacBook Pro. It just feels very clunky. So doing more of a review makes a bit more sense. But you know what? Let's go ahead and go through all of them again. I know we did this on day 3, but we might as well do it as often as possible, just because it showcases whether or not we remember it, and if we don't, then we have to work on it. Let's go backwards this time instead of going from the beginning. So we just learned this one. I'm not gonna know. This is the hard part. I'm not gonna know every compound. So every time I do some reviews, I do forget the compounds. Like when I look at it again, I'm like, what is that again? I need to relearn it each time. But usually for the kanji itself, it's like I at least know the meaning of it and how, and a few uses of it. So I think for now that's gonna be good enough. Otherwise, trying to remember every single compound, that's very difficult. I will try my best to, but I think for this challenge itself, I will mainly focus on at least like a few of the compounds and the core meaning of the kanji itself. Okay, anyways, this one was part of Joho, and so it's like ho, and it has a meaning of sort of like information, to inform, basically. I think by itself it was hojiru. This one's koe, meaning voice. Ogoe is something. And thanks for the YouTube message, X10. Really appreciate it. Let's see. And then there's kai right here. This one, it's also, I think, mawasu. I might be wrong on that one, but something related to like to rotate or whatever. But I know it more from kai, like nankai mo, like many times and so on. And then this one's the kanji for utsukushi, which means beautiful. And then this one's the kanji. God, why is it so small? I really want to like zoom in. Oops. Okay. Okay, right here. I think I can do that on my Mac, to be honest. Like there's definitely a zoom function somewhere. I'll figure it out next time. But yeah, this kanji right here is like the math. It means like math. So there's like sugaku, which is math itself. And there's like su nen or su Tsukagetsu or something like that, which means like several of something, several years, several months. Sujitsu, several days. Again, these are. I think I worked on this yesterday. This was the last kanji for yesterday, and these 5 were today. Then we have kome or okome, which means like uncooked rice. I used to think that it was just rice by itself. You know, I'm gonna like type it out just to have like a bigger version to see. This is the most zoomed in I can go, huh? Is it? What if I just... Yes. Yes. This is great. Okay, now it's too big. Okay, let's zoom back out. All right, this is probably the biggest it's gonna get. But this is really nice. And I guess I can prove that, or I can check myself by actually typing it in. So there's sugaku right there. And then I feel like maybe putting this into translate would be better because I can see the definition right afterwards. Yeah, let's try. No, it's fine. I'll just keep it like this for now. I don't want to like open any new tabs or anything. Let's see. So there's tsugi right here. And then we have kakeru. I feel like there's going to be a lot of different kakerus. Okay, there we go. And I think that one's like to crack or something like that. Or, yeah, I don't know the meaning of this one. I'm not like 100% sure about the meaning. So let's go ahead and let's break it down. Lack, gap, be missing, or break. I think break was the one that I was sort of most connected to. To chip. There you go. To break. Okay. I know this is like... I feel like an old person when I have to like zoom in by this much, but my eyes have not been the best these days. Oh man. Okay. And then we have hata or ki, meaning machine right here. We've already gone over that one. Kao. So kao, which is face. And let's just keep going. And then we have plane. I believe it was called hara. Like, there you go. Not plain, field. Because it was also part of gen. There was genjo, which is like... This is the wrong genjo. Oh man, there's... Genjo seems to be a very, very common thing. But it should mean... It should mean like raw materials. But perhaps I'm thinking of the wrong... the wrong second kanji. Oh, this is so confusing. Here, I'm just gonna type in hara first and then jo afterwards, which there's like a million kanji for. Let's see if this is correct. Yeah, I was wrong. Let's see. What's the compound kanji for raw materials? Genryo. Man, that makes a whole lot more sense. Okay. Because like zairyo is part of like ingredients and stuff. And gen has like this meaning of, I guess, almost like origin, same as like the other Gen, which is very confusing to be honest. But genryo, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Yeah, I was definitely questioning that one when I was saying it. Okay, let's keep going. Scoot my chair in. Okay, off the top of my head, this one I don't fully remember. Let's see. I have to think about it a little bit. So it's very similar to un from unten. And it has this kuruma radical with the slide. What exactly is it? Yeah, I'm kind of blanking on this one for some reason. Let's get back to it later. But there's komu right here, I believe, which means crowded. Oops. Right there. It's like konderu, basically. And then this one's like part of like gamen screen, or like men, I guess, by itself. There's a lot of combinations for it. Let's just move on. This is part of shinjiru, which is like to believe. I think I'm blanking on this one as well. That's so interesting. Let's see. This one's like naru. To become. Then we have heijitsu. That kanji. Mukao or mukou, which means like the other side, or to like traverse. And then jo, the one that I was talking about earlier, which is like emotion or feeling. And then we have zen or zenbu or zen, and subete for that one. We're getting to the ones that we know a bit better now. And this one, it means law, and I sort of think of it as whole. What was it by itself though? I just think of it as whole. Anyways, that's fine. We'll keep going. This one's like I. Not like the love one, but like the connected one. It's like a good word for it. Awa se. No, that's not right. Yeah, I can't find it. There's just a bunch of hearts. Okay, found it, finally. And then Tami, which means person. And then ka, like part of bunka. And I think it was also kasuru. Yeah, which means like to change, basically. And then the saikin, there's sai in it. Also, hi, Brooklyn Blade. Thank you for following. And then we have let's see. where were we? Gen, right here. And let's do Genjitsu instead. So this one's definitely a very common kanji, probably the most common and most used one, I feel, that I've seen. Although all of these are pretty common. Let's see. Tokoro. There's Tokoro. Also, I'm doing well, and I actually hardly play games these days, unfortunately, but I think I will eventually get back to it at some point. I say that despite knowing that I play games very little, but whenever I like play with friends, like that's something that happens like maybe once every few months. Okay, let's see, Toru. And then we have, I know this one means rule, but I'm trying to figure out what else it goes with. Let's just call it, what's up, valid? And then let's just call this one Matsuri Goto. So it can also be sei, I believe. This is interesting. My screen, despite my screen being... Oh, never mind. It seems to be okay. Okay, let's just keep going. I don't play marbles, unfortunately. I know some friends that do. Okay. Let's see. So this is out. The other one, meaning to match. There's a lot of compound kanjis with this one. And this one's part of yote. Not even gonna type it. Let's keep going. Kanji, kanjiru. It's part of kan or kanke. This one's part of tsui, which means pair. And I still don't really like... I feel like I need more examples of this kanji right here. I feel like it's very confusing. And yeah, I stream on Twitch as well. Valid. I'm multi-streaming right now to Twitch and YouTube. It's just, I don't know. I guess I watched a video by Moist Critical a while back that said that you might as well multi-stream because there's no downside to it. I'm sure you could argue against that, but I don't know. I just feel like multi-streaming is probably easier. And then we have se from jose or danse, meaning gender. Then we have isogashi, nakunaru, tatakai or tatakao, to from honto, jitsu, nai, meaning inside, kare, heya, the first part of heya, and I guess bubun. And then we have o for king, jo-o for queen, and then warao for laughter. I definitely feel like I know the first 20 to 30 more so than yesterday's one. I mean, that makes sense because I actually did like a review for it, and I haven't done a review for yesterday's kanji that I just learned. So definitely reviewing the kanji is super important, and I haven't done any reviews for the first like day or two, day 1 and day 2, yet I can still remember them quite well on day 5. I mean, that's not that much time, but it's still decent that I can remember it. Like, I think what happened was day 1 and 2, I mostly did this. And I think by the time I actually streamed on day 3, when I showcased like going over everything, I had already done a review of everything. And then day 4, I didn't do any review. I actually was planning to, but then I ended up working on my audiobook, which is probably the right move because I really need to get that audiobook done. But if I had reviewed, for sure I would have known day 4's kanji a bit better. But yeah, reviewing is very, very necessary. Doing it once is not going to help me retain it whatsoever. But this is day 5 where we've got 45 kanji, and so far most of them are pretty solid. I mean, I forgot 2 of them, which are these 2. Okay, I think I'm remembering one of them. I think this one is tsureru, which means to take, like to take someone somewhere, or maybe it's just tsuru. Okay, let's just do surete iku. Surete iku. There you go. Okay, so our brain has given us the answer. Somehow we have remembered this one. And then this one I really don't remember. I don't remember this one. I can't even get an inkling for what it is based on the kanji. Like there's ito there. Is it related to time? Okay, let's just try it. We need to pick 2. For time to pass, to elapse. Nice. Okay. And apparently that's not it. Tatsu. So it's part of... Okay, let's see if I can do this with my mouse properly. Ah, crap. I was gonna get it wrong anyways. I was gonna put the earth radical on the top. Okay. For time to pass, to elapse, tatsu. Loom. Oh no. Okay, I'll try my best, but I know this one's hard to write, especially with a mouse. Oh my gosh. This is so hard. Okay. We wrote that so poorly. Okay. For time to pass, to elapse, tatsu. Okay. You're gonna make me write it again. Okay. Okay, come on. This is so bad. All right. Chance, opportunity. Kikai. That's it? Where are the compound kanjis for this one? Okay. Let's just put this in here and look at some stuff. It's way too zoomed in. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh, really? This is the kanji for keiken, meaning experience. I've used this word a lot, keiken. And this is part of tamesu or tameshi, which means to attempt. Great, let's look at this one in detail. Core meaning pass through, manage scripture, longitude. Why can't I say longitude? Okay. It's part of economy as well. Keizai. But by itself, it apparently means pass through time. Time passes. Gaheru. I never heard that ever. Let's see. Okay. I don't blame myself for forgetting this one because it's like it's really easy to forget this one. I feel it's just like other than having thread there that helps me remember that it could be related to time, but like that's such a loose thing because that's not always the case. Let's see. Okay, I think Kent is probably the easiest one to remember it with. I don't know why they don't use it as an example because we've already learned this one. Well, I guess they can't like use everything, but okay, that's 45 so far, and I think that's all I'm gonna do on stream because I want to basically not learn using this right here and actually do it on my phone. So yeah, we'll continue on, but it's kind of cool that after doing 2 more lessons we'll reach lesson 50 and we would have done that in 5 days time. Compare that to like, let's say level 1 where there's like 66 lessons, and I remember when I was doing this I was doing like 2 lessons a day or 3 lessons a day. So this probably took like a long time to finish, at least like 20 days. But I'm almost doing the same amount in 5 to 6 days. So it's kind of crazy. And it feels fun. This feels like so much fun. I really wish I could spend a bit more time on it. But I think I need to, I can't exhaust myself too much because I do feel like this, when I said my brain was on fire on day 3, it definitely feels like my brain is activated. It's working to retain this and also learn the new ones. And that also means it's taking up resources. And because it's taking up resources, I get tired faster in the day. And it takes away from like me doing my other stuff as well, and that's not what I want. So I have to be careful not to go overboard. Basically, I think once I finish my audiobook I can do a bit more reviews and stuff, but for sure continuing to do this while reviewing the past ones that I learned, like the previous days. So it's almost like I have to like go through 10 kanji as new ones each day, and then also go over the previous 10 kanji that I learned. And without that, I will most likely not be able to retain all of it. But so far so good. None of them have been like really hard except for loom, like I said, the kanji for ki in sentakuki. So, and then I guess like keiken, kei no keiken was kind of confusing, but now that I've like actually gone over it, I can be like, yes, it's the Ito radical, and then we have the, I forgot what it's called, stool, I guess, radical, and then the earth radical in the bottom, and we can remember that as like the K inside of Keiken. So I feel like knowing words and having like a solid location to place my memory in, because like, it took a while to remember the word Keiken as experience. Like I think I had to use it at least like 10-ish times back when I was in Japan, like talking with my native friends all the time, like hearing it as well, until it became like a real like thing inside my head that now has memory. And then having something already there and then connecting it with something else that I'm learning makes this whole process so much easier, I think. So it's like building a web versus like trying to build the foundation in the first place. And I think that's like why this has been actually working and not like extremely difficult. Okay. That's gonna be it for this one. I will catch you guys in the next one. Yeah. I think the stream worked this time, so that's cool. Okay. Later, guys.